Now, the U.S. Congress is hearing a very interesting case. A Congress committee is discussing aliens and the UFOs. But this was not one of those discussions that often evokes talks of aliens and little green men. Rather, the current congressional hearing is beyond that. It is addressing the issue as a national security concern. One of them, a former Air Force intelligence officer, David Grusch, went on to make an explosive claim that the United States is concealing a long-standing program that retrieves and reverses engineers' unidentified flying objects. Let's now tell you about the scathing revelations by the retired intelligence officer and two other whistleblowers. Number one, the former military intelligence officer said that the current reporting system is insufficient to probe encounters regarding the UAP encounters in the country. He further said that the Congress was kept in dark about the UFOs for decades. The former military officer said that the information on these mysterious objects were withheld for years, like I just mentioned. Now, the whistleblowers further said that the details on crash retrieval and reverse engineering program have been disclosed. The U.S. military has also been accused of misusing funds to hide operations from congressional oversight. Now, one of the whistleblowers further said that the UAP UFO encounters were neither rare nor isolated incidents. And lastly, the whistleblowers are now demanding transparency from the lawmakers on the UFOs in the country. Now, a few years back, former US President Barack Obama had offered a blunt assessment of the videos of unidentified aerial phenomena that have continued to gain attention in the United States of America. In a statement, he said, and I'm quoting here, "What is true, and I'm actually being serious here, is that there is footage and records of objects in the skies, and we don't exactly know what they are." Well, to talk more on this, we have with us Stephen Golub. He's joining us live from California. He's a political analyst and a lawyer. Thank you so much for joining us on Beyond, Mr. Golub.
Thanks for having me.
Right. Mr. Golub, now there were some scathing revelations made by three whistleblowers. What stood out to you? What were the key highlights according to you?
Well, this is a fun and fascinating story, isn't it? It sounds on the one hand like something from the TV show The X-Files. On the other hand, it addresses, a huge question of, are we alone in the universe? Now, to bring it down to earth, so to speak, and to answer your question, what stood out most for me was the testimony by a former pilot, a fellow named David Fravor, who was one of four pilots who witnessed an unidentified aerial object moving at incredible speed and making incredible maneuvers. So, and now these are four pilots who are very rigorously trained, reliable Air Force officers. Our national security is in their hands, as I'm sure they're as reliable as top flight Indian Air Force officers. And all four of them saw this phenomenon. And in addition, it was detected on radar. In addition, it was, they got videos of it. In addition, and this, as far as I know, came out for the first time, former Commander Fravor said that the object had apparently jammed the radar of an Air Force plane, and that he was able to get within a kilometer of it and view it before it veered off at incredible speed. So this was really an incredible revelation that went into more detail about a previously reported incident than we'd heard before.
Golub, now, UFOs, alien life, is this just the tip of the iceberg, or is there more to come from these claims and reports?
Yeah, great question. Will there be another congressional hearing? Will there be more revelations? Now I'll take a step back from my enthusiasm about this story, because I do think it's an incredible story, to be a bit cynical in that the main witness, this whistleblower, Major Grusch, retired Major Grusch, he does seem to be very reliable on its face. 14 years as an intelligence officer. He's not a flighty personality at all, so to speak. But he himself hasn't seen any of the evidence. He's just said that he's spoken to about 40 different people from within the military and perhaps elsewhere within the U.S. national security apparatus who say they've seen evidence or they're personally familiar with evidence of these unidentified aerial phenomena and even apparently of biological remains that had been detected. But until someone else comes forward who actually has seen it, until we have more of a firsthand account, so to speak, even though he seems like a reliable witness, we might want to take what he said with a bit of a grain of salt.
Right, absolutely. Thanks very much for joining us on WION, Mr. Golub, and sharing your insights with us.
Thank you.